that's why I say I find it triggering when I think about the the generation before us that
Mm.
came and worked their asses off, and really it was they had a very strong work ethic. But I think, speaking for my family, I think that work ethic was really fueled by gratitude for being here.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like it wasn't just like, oh, we're here now.
Nah,
It was like,
dude. Like
oh, you know, we
I explain like to my kids. I feel very fortunate, and even when I talk about it, I get quite emotional when I think about it now. It's like that
yes,
whole
so do I.
is um, you just think about like your parents and stuff like that, and like I
Yeah,
always think about like my dad like working two jobs, man, and him getting home like at 7:30, 8 o'clock, um,
yep,
after working his part-time job, and you know I didn't see my dad a lot when I was growing up, right? So like he was out there working and doing it hard, and
mm-hmm.
it's hard to
Mm-hmm.
explain to people what and then I hear people complain about shit. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like
Yeah,
seriously, like
yeah,
what are you complaining about? Like I get it when people are doing it hard and stuff like that, but you know, if you're like that's grit, that's determination because, I have so much admiration for my dad who did that for me, and I had this. I legitimately broke down the other day when I was talking about it, like to Annie. I was like, I felt so bad when my mum sent me through photos of Dad's birthday, and I'm over here. I don't know how much longer he's going to be around, and I just
mm,
think about what I just said, like all the things he did, and I couldn't
yeah,
even and it sounds weird to say out loud, but I'm like, oh man, it's like $600 last minute to get flights to Melbourne, and that's and because of the society that we live in now, that we need to think about money that way rather than think about
mm.
the people that you love. That you have to think about, contemplate that dollar figure rather than shit. This could be the last time I see my dad, and it's just that's such a weird paradox to live in.
It's crap. Yeah, it is. And, similarly, a story that I can relate to that
Mm,
is, so um, both my parents worked when I was a baby. We've spoken on the podcast before about how I was in daycare I was an infant
mm,
when I was in daycare because both my parents had to work. There was no choice. Like they had to work to pay the mortgage. And we lived in Hallam, and my mum worked in the CBD. So every morning, my mum would my mum and my dad would drive to Noble Park Station where she would catch the train
mm.
and then drop me off at my grandma's house in Noble Park. And then she'd take me to daycare, right? So my mum was on that train. So she lived in Hallam, drive to Noble Park, catch a train at like 7 o'clock in the morning, 7:30 in the morning, so she can be at work by 9, 5 o'clock, all the way train back. So she would catch a train at 5. I remember being freezing. I tell my mum now, I remember being freezing cold. Like, so it would be like 6:30, almost 7
Mm.
when we get her at the end of the day. And I remember mum coming into the passenger seat and that cold coming in with her. I remember that sort of, that sort of like, oof, that cold that
Mm.
came with her.
Mm.
And she did that 5 days a week.
Mm.
So it wasn't even just like one trip to work. It wasn't even like she just worked full time, which is huge for any woman raising a family, right? Like the train ride in, the train ride back, the drop off between me and my grandma's daycare, all of that. Plus, she got shit at work for being a working mother.
Yeah, right.
So not only did she go through that every
Oh, well,
day,
how times
but
have changed.
she got like explicit racism because she had to pay the bills.
I,
And it does. You're right. It makes you emotional. It's like, fuck.
as
Like, they're
ironically,
a different breed.
ironically, it's funny that your mum used to get shit because she was a working mum, but now it's the other way around where stay-at-home mums are the ones who get copping flack because they're not going to work.
Yeah.
What a fucking weird world we live in.